All right, we are going live. Wealth Nation Money Monday. What's going on, everyone? Did you know that you have the power to control your own economy? My name is Carmen.
And I'm Darius. And what we want to discuss is what you need to know about the economy right now.
Yeah, we just want to have a little conversation, bounce some ideas and concepts off of each other, because what we're finding now with what's going on with the economy, people are freaking out. And we get it. There's a lot of uncertainties going on. But I think that we just need to first and foremost take a step back and understand that first and foremost, we have control.
Yeah. One thing I would like to point out is, when was the last time we had such a large amount of unemployment? We just had the airlines laid off over 32,000 people a few days ago. That's a ton.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people displaced from their jobs. So if we take a look at just history in general, we know that since 1900, we've had about 20 recessions. That's about an average of a recession every 6 years. And because of such a high amount of unemployment, we're comparing it to the Great Recession back in 1929, the Great Depression back in 1929.
Yes.
So what happened then? One thing we really want to iterate is that things happen. It's like a roller coaster. It goes up and it goes down. Now, granted, the depression back then isn't the same thing that we're having now. The last issue we had was back in, as far as pandemics, was back in 1918, where we had the virus. Things happen that create these economic downturns, but the fact is still the same. There's a rhythm in which things happen.
Yeah, and if anything, with this video today, we want you to realize that things are going to come and go, and we need to have the fortitude to understand what needs to happen and how we can best put ourselves in the right position. Because if we know from a historical standpoint there has always been recessions and depressions, then why do we continue to be dependent upon the government or upon corporations for a paycheck?
Or our economy goes up and down, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, there was one book that we read. I can't remember what it was.
Kiyosaki, Second Chance.
Is it Second Chance, where he talked about as when you collect a paycheck, you will always be a slave to a corporation or some other entity. I don't remember what book that was from, but it really puts things into perspective, is because when you are dependent, going back to that word, on someone else or something else to take care of your living expenses, you are already behind the 8 ball because you have no control in the matter. And we can say this coming from personal experience, because when Darius was laid off, Darius was an engineer in corporate America, and we thought that he was untouchable. But when he was untouchable in the sense of engineers are valuable, seen in the marketplace, and control the bottom line, we were like, oh, he's good, but when he was laid off, that was a real big eye opener to us to realize that, whoa, nobody's safe. And we need to take,
unless you're a doctor.
I
think we always need doctors.
Yes, we need to take control of our own destiny. So we did that in such ways where we looked up, ways in which to make more money. So we started with real estate. We did a few other side hustles. We were in network marketing for a minute. We were just constantly craving and trying to figure out more information for us to take control of our own economy.
Yeah, our economy is a reflection of, I guess, the stock exchange and those top companies, top 500 companies.
Yes, exactly.
Now that's a reflection of our economy. What's a reflection of our own personal lifestyle? Are we subject to what's going on with these large corporations, or are we putting ourselves in a position to where we can continuously earn money? Because the thing is, regardless of whether we're in a bad economy or a good economy, there's money being exchanged for something.
Totally.
So as long as money is being exchanged, there's an opportunity for us to make money or put ourselves in a better position to benefit.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that point, because I don't know if you all know this, but the definition of money is a means of exchange. Sometimes we overcomplicate money or currency in that sense of not really understanding the definition of it. So when we think of money just as an exchange or a value exchange, we can really sit back and reevaluate the things that we're doing. So we talk about all the time, figure out how much it costs you to live on a monthly basis, and then go figure out what can you exchange for that amount of money so that you can start to take over some of your financial needs in your lifestyle.
Yeah, our body deteriorates, our muscles deteriorate, but what we can continuously improve is our mind.
Yeah.
So if we can exchange what we know for money, then we put ourselves in a better position to ride these economic waves that we go through. Let's just say an average of every 6 years.
Yeah. Because if we know, and let's say every decade, if we know that this is going to happen every decade, then why do we continue to be dependent on our income and our retirement? Why do we allow someone to be in control of that? If we know time and time again that, we're going to be crossing our fingers every decade, hoping that, we're not going to lose money.
Yeah,
it's just not smart.
We have no idea what the how is going to be, but we do know what's going to happen.
And what is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, Wealth Nation, if you are listening, you need to take control. Like today, you need to take a moment and first understand or take ownership of your financial literacy. Understanding your numbers, looking into ways for you to create cash flow for yourself so that you can have a more predictable income when it comes to, these instances where, the government is hurting.
Yeah. And the reason why we always say take a look at your numbers, because your numbers tell a story about who you are. What you spend your money on, that's what your focus is. That's what you're into. So if you want to invest and do something that you are currently not putting your time or your effort into, it's going to be difficult for you to understand that product or process.
Totally.
So if you think about putting things into giving yourself control of your finances, first look at what you're already using your money for.
Yeah, because in your bank statement, it'll tell you what you're using your money for. You'll continue to see the patterns and the habits that you create.
Right, because if you're a customer, you can already put yourself in the mind state of what type of customer you can create for yourself. Because even when it comes to policies, for example, like we are the largest purchasers. Well, we purchase a lot of life insurance. And what we do is we tell you the experience that we're having with our own personal journey.
Yeah. And that's honestly a way that we monetize our own knowledge, because we realize that, hey, we know this information. There's a need, there's a demand out there for people wanting to know this information. So why not just share it? Yeah. And you can do the same thing with the information that you currently possess. What do you know? What information are you currently sitting on that is going to be valuable to the next person? And sometimes, or not sometimes, all the times we underestimate that. We're constantly underestimating the value that we can bring to other people. So what are you doing? Right. What do you know right now today that maybe somebody has already asked you for? What do your friends and family constantly ask you for? Can you help me with this car? Can you help me with interior design? Can you help me with the pool? Whatever it is, what are the things that people are always asking you for? And then figure out how you can monetize that to help more people.
Yeah, we had a mentor tell us if someone asks you a question twice, then you should write a book.
So some of us need to get to writing. One thing that I really wanted to talk about is when there is an economic downturn, that is where a transfer of wealth happens. A huge transfer of wealth happens. And really what's happening is the wealthier are getting wealthier because they understand how to utilize the tool of money.
And also there are wealthy people being created because of this transfer. So how are we going to come out of this?
What side of the coin?
What side of the coin are we going to come out with?
Yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, it all goes back to monetization and being strategic. Think of all the people that thought about buying bulk hand sanitizer, before this pandemic, and now a lot of them are doing really well for themselves.
They didn't get caught.
But they took advantage of an opportunity. What services can you currently provide where people may need, knowledge or a service or a product during this pandemic? I can only imagine the number of inventions that are currently being created to service the public while they're out in the public these days. Think of masks. That's probably $1 billion industry right now with different masks and how you can customize them. So continuing to harp on the fact that you are in control. A lot of times we don't realize it and we just wake up every day for someone else. But when it's going to be the time where you wake up for yourself? Maybe that could be tomorrow where you make the decision that you're going to do something and you're going to take control of your finances. Yeah.
And again, we're talking about what you need to know about the economy right now. Is really what do you need to know about your own economy that you are creating? Because all of us are a business.
Yes.
If we think of the stock market as a reflection of 500 companies, then we are a reflection of one company, which is us. So if you take a look at your finances and understand your cash flow, understand how you are being affected by the things going on around you, how much control do you have, then you start to think and act as if you were a business and start to control and create your own economy, your own flow of money.
Yeah, fear can be a really debilitating characteristic to this whole thing, because when we think about not only our income, but money, we put our money in places where we hope somebody else will take better care of it, because we're not going to take the time that we need to create that money business for ourselves.
Right.
We'll solicit the expert to figure out, what needs to happen with my money. And for us, we're all about empowering our clients and empowering our students to know what's going on and to take control. There's only so much we can do, because it's your money at the end of the day, and you should care about it way more than just giving it off to the next person and having them manage it.
Right. A lot of times what I would say financial experts do is they make it complicated. They make it complicated so that you feel like you can't do it on your own.
That's a good point.
So money, again, is a means of exchange. You exchange this paper good, or swipe your debit card, or transfer money, or what have you, in exchange for something of value.
That's all it is.
Right? Yeah. So when we do that, we realize that that's the simplest way that you can think of anytime you spend money.
Yeah.
So everything else is just a means of overcomplicating things so you can give up control of it. And you never lose money until you lose control of it.
Absolutely. I was just thinking about the opportunities to monetize your knowledge, or to even monetize the things that you have in your house. What is the one app where you can offer up? When we think about money as a means of exchange, if you have something in your house that's of value, you can put that thing on OfferUp and sell it. You didn't have to bring any money to the table, but what you brought was something to exchange, and you're being partnered with somebody who has the money. So in just the simplest terms of you literally sitting on pieces of currency all over your house, you can create ways of generating cash flow in your house. And that's the simplest form. There's things like Turo, renting your car out. A lot of people are working from home these days. Can you monetize your car that's sitting in your parking or sitting in your driveway? Can you monetize, a vacation home that maybe you're not visiting as often? What are the things that you can literally today make some cash flow from? And don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah. I think it's just, I'm trying to articulate exactly what I'm feeling right now in this moment. And what we just see time and time again, and far too often, is people just being so discouraged with what they see on the news, where their retirement account has now fallen to, what their investments are now doing and how they're performing. And it breaks my heart every time that we see, people complaining about, I have to go back to work because now I can't afford to retire, or, now I don't have enough funds. I've been laid off. I lost my job. We're living paycheck to paycheck. We spend all of our savings, whatever it is. We really just want to empower you all today with understanding that you're in control. Like, go figure out a way to take back control.
Yeah, and I think of even the most recent issue we had was back in 2008, where I feel like we have a short memory of the things that happened.
Yeah,
and
we forget.
I think about 2008 and how technology is so different now than it was back then.
Totally.
To how we have access to information right now, in our fingertips, right on our cell phone. We didn't necessarily have that back in 2008. So what's coming to mind is the fact that we should do our research and see how these cycles happen. And if the research that I did, it compares to comparing the unemployment back to the 1929, then there's something that we have to look at and understand. How did we overcome this in the past, and how can we apply that knowledge to what we're doing now?
That's a way to put it positive.
Who can we interview that can, or who can we have a conversation with that'll give us a good understanding, or someone who we can have a conversation with that actually lived through it and came out better? Because it's not all doom and gloom. There's opportunities that presents itself.
Yeah, and if anything, think about the media and news and how 9 times out of 10, it's probably negative information that you're hearing. And, you know, it's all in an essence to
get your attention.
You know, it's all in marketing and really make you, again, focus on the negative and what's happening instead of what can come from this. So think about the programming that you're watching. Listen to those words. Think about all the programming that you're watching, whether it be radio or TV, you know, whatever media that you're listening to and consuming. You may need to change the channel and figure out, you know, ways that you can start to create cash flow. So now start listening to podcasts or YouTube videos where people are teaching you how to make money.
Yeah, I would say, like, even think about like Airbnb and Uber. Didn't they? Don't quote me on this, but didn't they start the companies back in 2008?
I think so.
Well, it was those companies are a result of a need that people had when we were coming through the downturn we were coming through. So that's just to put you in the mindset. Yes, that's only 2 companies. There's millions of people out there, but who knows what you're on the brink of when you think about how you can add value to the people around you based on the knowledge that you already have.
Absolutely. And YouTube is a great example of that, of having a platform where you can, or having a place where you can create a platform to teach. That's the main thing why we learn. Yeah, that's why we got involved in it, because we realized we are able to literally be in touch with the entire world by just having a camera and a computer. Yeah.
And just to more detail, like, we got involved with YouTube because me as an engineer, I felt like I got my master's degree in engineering on YouTube. Because every time there was something that went wrong in the factory that I was working in, the improvements that I got came from this platform. Totally. So how can you utilize everything around you to be resourceful?
Now let's put some context to this, right? Let's go through an exercise. I'm going to challenge you to think about the things that you currently know, because I know so many people are going to be watching this video and say, oh, Darius and Carmen, you know, I don't really know what I can do or I can teach.
You didn't answer the question about what can you do about the economy right now, what you need to know about the economy right now.
And what you need to know is that you need to go figure out how to make some money. Yeah. So Darius, tell me, what are 3 things that you feel like you are a subject matter expert on?
You kind of put me on the spot. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I think, you know, one,
I think I'm a subject matter expert on personal finance.
Okay.
I think I'm a subject matter expert when it comes to presenting your true self. And I think I'm a subject matter expert on being a decent dad to a 3-month-old.
Oh, being an amazing dad to a 3-month-old. And I'll add some to your list. You're a fantastic griller and you're a fantastic drink maker.
Oh.
So just saying. So these are simple things, right? Can Darius go out and teach somebody how to, you know, grill properly, what the right grill to use? You know, can Darius go out and teach somebody how to make drinks at home now these days, right? He could create a YouTube channel around that. He could create a little informational PDF around that. He could talk about, you know, new dads and the transition of being a new dad and teach new dads or create some sort of community group on how to transition, how to help mom, how to help baby, how to do all of those things. You know, we're already doing the personal finance piece of things. What was the other thing that you said? I missed it. We'll remember it. But anyways, you guys get where we're going with. We're just talking about the things that we do every day, the things that we love to do, the things that we're constantly doing every day. And you know, why not be able to monetize that and share your knowledge with other people?
Yeah, and even think about how, like, some of the companies that you know, like, and love, how they transition. Because Airbnb, for example, we took cooking classes and mixology classes on Airbnb now because they're offering video courses.
Yeah, we wanted something to do for a date night and just happened to see that Airbnb had experiences. So we literally did a cooking class with a woman in Mexico on Zoom.
Yes. So what's another way that you can monetize the information that you have?
Yeah, the other day,
your passions.
I ordered a grocery box that gets delivered to our house because at that time I didn't feel like going to the grocery store I didn't either. And or figuring out recipes. You know, they prepackage everything for me and all I have to do is reheat it. That company is solving a need of their customer.
Yeah.
And these aren't big, complicated things. So that's why we want to bring this to light and to shed it to light, that what you need to know about the economy is you have the power to create your own economy.
Mhm.
You have the power to create your own cash flow and do whatever you need to do for your family so that you can create money and generate generational wealth by the services and the products that you can create for the public.
Right. So what you need to know about the economy right now is the same thing that in the past 100 years, in the past 20 economic downturns we had. You have opportunity that presents itself that you can create for yourself.
Absolutely.
That's what you need to know.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, if you guys are still with us, give us a thumbs up, please. If you're picking up what we're putting down, because this is really important information. You know, really, really, really take a moment and just focus on the things that you're good at.
Yeah.
And do something about it.
Yeah, that's exactly why you have the current, you have or had the current occupation that you did, is because you're good at something. They're paying you because you're good at something. They're not paying you because you suck. They're paying you because you're good.
Why do you get the job in the first place? Why do you get the job in the first place? That's a really good point, right? Because we create our resumes, we do all these things to market ourselves because we are the subject matter expert in a certain field. A corporation or a business is going to pay you for your knowledge. So why not utilize that same knowledge and monetize it for yourself so that you don't have to be undercut? By your income, be able to create as much income as you want to without somebody putting a ceiling or a cap on it.
Yeah. There is a transition of wealth that's happening just before our eyes. Where are you going to be 5 years from now or 10 years from now when this happens again?
Exactly. So we'll wrap this up, but we'll go to the comments really quickly to see what everyone's talking about. If you guys have ideas, please put them in the comments, because we want to motivate one another to think about things in ways we can make money and create our own economy. So let's see. Nelly, what's up, Nelly? How are you? You made it. Jamar, what's up, Jamar? Where you been? Cindy, be responsible for your life, be in control of your life, or as you folks always or else you folks always say someone else or a financial institution will take control of your life. Absolutely. This is a good time to buy a house in Texas. We possibly
do your research and see.
Yeah, we're not in Texas, so we can't necessarily say that, but always make sure that you are doing your research first and foremost. Thank you for empowering. You guys are so welcome. The key is to be resourceful and to adapt to change. Sherlock Holmes, high five, my friend. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Be resourceful. That's a really good word. What else? Let's talk about forming family foundations. Absolutely. You know, there's so many businesses out there that are actually teaching families how to create foundations.
Like a home office.
Yeah. So why not start a business on how to do that? If you know how to do that, you know, it's all about wills, trust, you know, putting all of those things together, power of attorneys, making sure that your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted, especially now, because we just don't know what's going on in the world.
Yeah. And she even talked about loans. Like, loans is a very important thing to consider when talking about wealth, because we always talk about this, when you think about our economy or the U.S. debt, there's a huge amount of debt that exists for our country, but that debt, we're in debt to someone or a company.
Yeah.
Who is it? If
because they're selling that off to somebody and selling that off and selling that. Yep.
Exactly. So I think what we have a negative relationship with debt, but if you're the one that owns that debt, then what position do you think you'll have if you own the debt?
Control, ladies and gentlemen. Positioning. That's what it is. What position are you in? Sherlock Holmes, thank you for confirming that. Airbnb started in 2008 and Uber 2009. Good job, Darius. Great content, being very optimistic and positive. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. Congratulations on being a new dad.
Thank you.
Your videos are helpful. Thank you so much. Denzel, what is up, my brother? Hello, King. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, the stream is coming through live and it is clear.
And guess what? I realized our mic isn't plugged in. Can you guys hear us okay? Hope so. Would love to speak with you. Did the whole life thing. I watched the webinar and still waiting for a phone call. You have probably joined our wait list, Mr. Carlos, so we will be in contact as soon as possible. And you can create a business for tax purposes for being a household business. Absolutely. Why not? We didn't even talk about the tax benefits that can come with you creating your own business. So definitely consult with your tax professional to make sure that you understand how you can take advantage of some tax breaks by just having a business.
That's kind of why you create a business in the first place.
In the first place, exactly.
For tax savings.
Yeah. So I think, with all of the comments that everybody was saying, we're all on the same page. The moral of the story is we need to be optimistic, we need to be resourceful, and we need to realize that we have a massive opportunity to create abundance, create products, create services, to create whatever it is that you want that will be of value to the next person.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all in this together.
So it doesn't matter.
Regardless of what you may think, we're all in this together. And by you creating something of value is going to help everyone involved. Yeah,
we're all our own ecosystems. We all mesh at the end of the day. So we wanted to definitely share this powerful message because, like we said, we just feel like so many people are down and out and trying to figure out how to make ends meet. And we want you to know that you can do it. So go do it. Go figure out, do the exercise that we just did. What are you the subject matter expert on? Meaning, what do you know? Darius can grill a mean pork chop. So he needs to go sell that recipe or wings or whatever it is. So again, just trying to be positive, trying to make sure that you all know that you can do whatever it is that you need to do. And once you are able to create cash flow, then partner and align with people who are going to help you create those financial goals that you want to create for yourselves.
Yeah, definitely hang around people that's going to be an asset to you, that pushes you forward.
Amen. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to own your own lifestyle.
Or someone else will.
Bye, guys.